My memory is insane.
What is a dolphin prawn? You guys would be pretty much nothing without us.
I came in at 16, 15.
Broccoli! Get rid of the jackboard. Do something with my life.
Hello and welcome back to Playground Politics. I'm Brayden and alongside me is my partner in crime, Ed. Ed, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you, Brayden. Very excited for this episode.
That makes two of us because today we have our first guest. That's right. Not only have we survived and made it to episode 2, we've managed to get a guest star on later in the show. But for now, let's head into a bit of this and that in Chit Chat. Starting off, a publicity spree.
Yeah, Brayden. We went all out this week on publicity on our socials. Instagram got a bit of a hitting. Website, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, it all had it. But I think it went okay in our defence.
I reckon it's good. A bit of an apology for the amount of plugging we did. There was a lot of advertising. I mean, a couple of cheeky swipe up stories got invaded with our plugs, but hey, it worked out. We ended up hitting 100 followers, and everything's going good.
That's it. That's about it. We just apologise, but we don't apologise at the same time. Let's be real. We need to get you guys listening, and the only way to do that is invade your socials. And so hit up the Instagram playground.politics, the Snapchat play.politics, website https. Whatever it's called, //playgroundpolitics.wixsite.com/listen, YouTube, the Playground Politics podcast, TikTok, I can't ever remember what it is. Hit them all up.
Also coming from this week, the support. Ed, we have had messages flooding in.
Yeah, mate. We'll put some of them up on the screen now so you can have a look. They can be seen on the video version of the podcast at the Playground Politics podcast on YouTube. But in all seriousness, yes, it's very overwhelming, and we just thank everyone for the support we received, the messages coming in left, right and centre. At one stage, I think we've even had listeners from the US, a couple from Canada. That's probably got something to do with our guest tonight. But, I've just been getting messages coming in on our Instagram DMs and our individuals. It's been good.
Yeah, lovely. All right. There was a line in last week's podcast by you that actually ended up in the title of episode 1. But, mate, in all seriousness, what is a dolphin prawn dumpling?
Yeah, it's a good question that we had to do a bit of research for, because you got me on the I bet. You got me with the dolphin prawn dumplings from, I can't remember what restaurant, but mate, from my expert Google searches, I've come up with the results that a dolphin prawn dumpling is just a prawn dumpling in the shape of a dolphin.
That's a bit whack.
That's like a vegan's nightmare. Let's be honest.
two in one.
Oh, I don't want dumplings because they're prawn. But, they're shaped in the shape of a dolphin. I've got Google up here now, and they look foul. I don't mean to offend anyone saying that, but who eats dolphin-shaped prawn dumpling from Chinese bread?
Prawn dumplings.
It sounds like a one restaurant thing. I don't know.
Yeah, probably it's like their specialty. It's like the stir-fried broccoli. That's whack. I've never heard of that. I don't know why. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it was overpriced either way. But yeah, so the conclusion to that is a dolphin prawn dumpling, for anyone that was wondering, which is probably no one, is just a prawn dumpling shaped as a dolphin. Don't know what that is.
Fun fact.
Yeah, that's it. Fun facts with us. See, who said we don't teach anyone anything? If you're watching the video version of this podcast, you'll probably notice Brayden is sitting there in his nice new Udi, looking beautiful, got the Bulldogs, and I'm sitting in my suit jacket and shirt all dressed up. We've decided that for the sake of the podcast, we probably need some uniforms. Now, Brayden, I have got an Udi in the mail, but should we let the viewers decide, or what's your opinion? Is it 2 Udis or 2 suit jackets? What are we thinking?
I've got a suit and jacket. Yeah, I do. I've got from my mum's wedding that I could wear. But honestly, just for all the listeners and viewers out there, please decide that we can wear Udis because they are just so comfortable. This isn't sponsored, by the way, guys. They are just so comfortable, and I reckon we're both gonna look really cute in our Udis, and you're gonna love it.
I can't really deny that, but I don't think mine's coming till like September or something. But we'll get back to that later in the quarantine update of the podcast. But yeah, I vote. I'm in my suit. He's in your hoodie. You guys decide what looks best. He's got an advantage because look at that face. You just can't deny it. But anyway. Okay, guys, episode 2. We've got a guest for you coming in. His name is Graham. Graham, how you going?
Hey guys, good to be here. Super happy to be your first guest.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you, mate. So just tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm a hockey player, a field hockey player, whatever you want to call it, like yourselves. A goal in that sport. I'm a fan of basically all sports. I would say I'm an all-around good dude, and I live in Vancouver, Canada.
Oh, nice. So you just said you live in Canada, right? And Ed over here lives in Australia. So just how did you guys meet? How did you guys meet?
Well, some of you may know I went on a hockey tour to USA and Canada last year, and well, basically, long story short, Graham was just the goalie for 2 of the games we played.
Yeah, we played against you guys twice. I can't remember the outcome of the games. That doesn't matter. But everyone had a good time, I think.
So Graham, you follow any other sports, mate?
Yeah, I live in Canada, so ice hockey, it's, you got to follow. You don't have a choice, legally required by the government. I'm a bit of a basketball fan, I'd say. I'll watch the odd Raptors game, baseball, American football, whatever's on.
Interesting. So if you like all sports, take it in Canada, a bit of snow. Do you do any individually, like any snow sports or anything, any skiing, anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. I like to ski. I'm not a competitor or anything, but I'll do it for fun, for some exercise. Yeah, for sure.
So coming off of the skiing part, what in your opinion is the best part about Vancouver?
Best part about Vancouver, it's a decent city. I like it here. We got a lot of rain in the winter, a lot of rain in the summer too sometimes. But overall, it's a nice city. There's lots of good, views of the ocean, big beaches here, mountains. I'd just say that the landscape overall is the best part about Vancouver. Just some big mountains, some nice forests. It's a good place overall.
Obviously, so you're our age-ish. How old are you? You're
17. I'm going into grade 12 in, I guess, October, right, because it's summer here. Whenever school starts up again, honestly, who knows?
Oh yeah, so definitely you're a bit older than us going into. So next year are you going to uni? What's the plan for that?
Yeah. So next year is my last year of high school. Then after that, probably some sort of university. I haven't thought about it too much. Kind of live in the moment always. But yeah, that's the plan for now, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest this week, Graham, has been talking something up behind the scenes, and I want to put it to the test. So Graham's got an I bet for us, and what exactly is that I bet, Graham?
Oh yeah, boys! I bet I can name the team that won the NHL. That's Canadian American Ice Hockey League championship in any given year.
Any year.
Well, okay, maybe that's a little bit much, but let's say between 1980 and 2019.
Okay, Graham, we have 5 different years and the Stanley Cup winners from that year. If you get at least 3 out of 5 correct, you are the champion of NHL. And if you don't get at least 3, you will join Ed in Playground Politics' lying wall of shame.
Yeah, mate, you better get these right, because let me tell you, it has been a dark week for me.
Feeling good, like he should, because he can name the NHL champions for any year between 1980 and 2019. He can get it right, yes, it's Graham. So Graham, I've got 5 teams, 5 winners here, and I'll do 3, Ed will do 2. And kicking us off today, Who won in 1983?
1983. Let me see. That would have been the New York Islanders, I think.
Correct on that one. Coming in next, 2004.
2004. A little before my time as a fan. 2004 would have been the Anaheim Ducks. Nope, it would have been the Tampa Bay Lightning won in 2004, didn't they?
Nah. Gonna have to take your first answer.
Sorry, Graham.
All right. That's okay. I'll bounce back.
Next, we have 1997. Who won the Stanley Cup?
1997. Who won the Cup in 1997? Damn, that's tough. 97. I'm going to say that the New Jersey Devils won in 1997, but I know I'm wrong.
Bad luck, brother. It was the Detroit Red Wings. Rightio.
Oh, because they won in 97 and 98, and then they won again in 2007, 2000. Yeah.
Good knowledge, but you don't get bonus points. You need the next two right. You need
All right,
these
here we go.
final
I don't
two.
want to end up on the Wall of Fame, let me tell you. But I have a feeling there could be a chance.
It is. It's stuck. Rightio. Number 4. 1987.
1987. Edmonton Oilers.
Well done, mate. Well done.
There we go. Back on track. I'm back on track.
This is the biggest question.
All or nothing.
All or nothing that you'll ever answer in your life. I think it's a pretty easy one. 2015.
2015. That would have been the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Nah, you're wrong. Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh,
let's go.
Yeah. Oh man, I knew
they were
that.
2016. Oh, Graham, come on.
Oh, that's too bad. I knew the Penguins won in 2016 because, oh man. Well, that's my bad. You know what? I deserve it. I'm on the Wall of Fame.
You done better than Ed, Graham. You done better than Ed, and that's what matters.
All right. Well, maybe one day someone will do it, but it wasn't me. This week.
Okay, guys. So around the grounds now, we have cut footy tipping. Brayden's a bit upset. He was vlogging, he thinks, but for time reasons and just for the sake of the show, we've decided that the footy tipping isn't worth it. But we will keep on with.
It says it's for time. It's just because he's getting flogged 2-0. He says it's for time, but I am 2 for 2 right now.
Rightio, but we'll still have burning questions and we'll still have the latest. So, AFL burning questions with Geelong flogging Port Adelaide on Friday night. Which of those, out of those two teams, who is more likely to win a flag if either of them will?
Got to go for Geelong. I mean, they're pretty much my secondary team, honestly. They've got a better percentage than Port, and they're playing better footy than Port. I just see it being Geelong. I don't know about you, Ed, but I feel like it's going to be Geelong.
Yeah, but not just going from last night, but I do think Geelong's a bit stronger when it comes to the big games, and I just see them knocking over. They've got a bit of unfinished business from last year, so I think Geelong are pretty up there, and I wouldn't even, not just out of those two, but I would go to say that Geelong are pretty high favourites for the flag.
All right, burning question number 2. Will the Bulldogs finish in the top 8?
I don't think so. Looking at the top 8, Port Adelaide, Geelong, Brisbane, West Coast, they're all set, I think. St Kilda are probably set. Richmond should make finals. Collingwood should make finals. Then you've got Giants, Essendon, Melbourne. They're all pretty set, I think. Gold Coast, Carlton creeping, even Fremantle. Can't even say that. I just don't see Bulldogs finishing the year strongly enough. They're too inconsistent to make the top 8.
Couldn't have put it better myself, Ed. Honestly, couldn't put it better myself. All right, now with the latest, changed up a bit. It's just going to be the top, like the latest headlines. Not really going to answer them or anything. But Jacob Wiedering signs with Carlton until the end of 2025.
Yeah, big news for Carlton. Good if you're a blue bagger, and that's pretty positive for their backline. Every year, Footy Festival. Input from some teams and the word from the AFL makes it seem more and more likely that maybe the Footy Festival will come back next year and will be included in a yearly fixture. Big news for footy fans.
It will be good. Moving on to the NBA, Ed.
Burning question. Who wins the championship? Blatant. There it is.
Yeah, honestly, Milwaukee. I have to give it to Milwaukee. I mean, I know everyone's like it's going to be Lakers, but I just have a strong feeling that Milwaukee's going to, just clutch up and take it away from the Lakers. Honestly, that's my opinion.
Fair call, and I'm just going to be that person that says I think the Lakers will do it. They should. They really should. Who knows? But I think the Lakers have got it.
Well, coming in the latest, Damian Lillard is tearing up the league at the moment. His last 5 games, he's averaged 44 points, and been dropping massive point games in the 60s and 50s recently.
Yeah, he's destroying the league. Nothing more to say. If there was an MVP from the bubble, he's got it. I'd say, in my opinion, he's been the deal breaker.
Guarantee.
New segment of the podcast, well, on the list of segments, but coming in this week is something we like to call Brayden's Bullocking. So basically, the timer will be set. Brayden over here has got 2 minutes to rant. 2 minutes max. And what he's going to do is rant about something that's upset him, something he's mad about, just something in the world at the moment that's really set him off. This is going to be interesting. I don't know how to go. It's in Brayden's hands. I'll set the timer, 2 minutes, and we will kick off. Brayden's Bullocking.
So, recently I've been scrolling through TikTok and Instagram and all my social feeds, and I've been seeing a bunch of these people, certain people who are like protesting against having to wear a mask in this like time of COVID, and they're like, oh, we don't wear masks, it's my body, it's my rights, I can do what I want, it's hard to breathe, blah, blah, blah. In my opinion, that genuinely upsets me because, number one, you're putting everyone else's lives in danger and yourself's life in danger. And number two, you just look like a plain fool. Like if you're out in town not wearing a mask, one, you have a chance of getting fined, and two, you just look like an absolute fool, in my opinion. Like everyone's wearing a mask to keep you safe, and you're standing there going, it's my right to not wear a mask. Like and most of them aren't even children. You'd think this would be the petty stuff a child would do, like a 3-year-old to do. Most of them are middle-aged, quote-unquote, boomers who are saying that it's their life, they can do what they want, they don't have to wear a mask. And personally, this upsets me because it's not really happening in my little town or anything, but if it does start happening and it gets in the way of my hockey, I'm going to get mad. I'm going to get mad. That's all I have is hockey at the moment, and that's going to upset me. I mean, it is not hard, people. Just put on a mask. Wear a mask. When you go out in public, just make it, it's like second nature. You just put on a mask and you suck it up for a little bit. No one likes it. No one doesn't like being able not to breathe and stuff. I mean, I wear it when I go out shopping with my mum and stuff, and it's not even that bad. Let's be honest, you can still breathe. It's just a little bit suffocating, but you are not gonna die. So stop overreacting and refusing to wear masks and just spreading the disease. It may be your body, it may be your right. This is a worldwide problem, and the world does not revolve around you. You're a little itty bitty person, 1 in 7 billion. So suck it up and wear a mask.
On our next segment of the podcast, we have got an isolation update for you all. Last week in the podcast, we had a bit of a chat about isolation. It was in the Chit Chat, asked about how each other was going. We thought, we can't just end you guys on there. We have to have a chat about it, a bit of an update. So, starting off, Brayden, you've been back at it with the quarantine story. First of all, we have got, it'll be on the screen. I'm a dominant human. I beat my entire family in board games, and I'm currently on fire. Only person that can beat me is my stepdad, but that's because I let him win. Lol. Brayden, mate, what board games? What were you looking at?
So I don't know where this board game's actually from. Mum's picked it up. It's called Rummy Cub. I won't go too much into detail. You pretty much got to pick up chips, put them down in order and stuff. It's complicated. We'll get into it later, but it's called Rummy Cub. If you really care about it, just go look it up somewhere. I mean, it'll be somewhere. But so Mum recently whipped that out of the cabinet, and she's like, oh, Brayden, come play with us. I bet it'll be fun. So I join in, and I destroy on my first game. I mean, like, they didn't have a chance against me. And then on my second game, I destroyed again. And then I played with just the parents. And first round, my stepdad beat me. Second round, I won. And then it gets to the point where I will come in halfway through the game, pick up more chips than everyone, and 3 turns in, I've already pretty much won. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that's dominating.
That's hard in Rummy Cup. I've played, and if you come in late, it is hard to come back.
Yeah, it is hard.
Unless you've got perfect pieces. Because you've got to line them up properly. Yeah,
it's just crazy. I mean, Mum hates me at the moment. We're actually having a bit of a dispute over this game because I proclaim myself as the king of the game, but she's like, I've played it for longer, I'm better, but I reckon I might have a tournament with her, and I'll might update you next week about how that tournament went. But I am a dominant human when it comes to board games. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yep. I can't doubt that from that information. Another quarantine story you put up, one of many, was day something, and my mum bought me this thingy. I'm not to flex, but my mum is kind of a god, and this is very warm. And I also want to say that online school is bad. Now, that also mixes in with our next topic. This thing you're talking about is what you're wearing, and that is your hoodie. How did this come about? How have you got an hoodie?
So, I'm pretty sure Mum saw an advert for them somewhere, maybe TikTok. I don't know where she saw them, but she's like, "Oh my God, they look great." She ordered all four for the kids, and we all got different designs. And Mum randomly one day, Mum's like, "Oh, go get stuff out of the car." And I see a massive package, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, they've arrived." And I wore it. I've worn it for about 4 days straight. And it is just the best purchase my mum has ever made. I mean, it's amazing. And obviously, you've heard Ed's going to get one. And I honestly hope we can just make it the iconic uniform for this podcast. I mean, and they look good. They look good.
I'm getting that garlic bread one. No, that yellow with the garlic breads. That looked pretty cool.
Yeah. My stepsister's got that one.
Oh, fair. No, that would be good. Maybe it will have to be the podcast uniform. We'll see how we go. But yeah, no, I like your hoodie, mate. You're looking good, and it looks pretty comfy. I won't deny that. Now, final bit of isolation update. How's your Minecraft going?
Good. Really good. I've actually gone extremely try-hard in Minecraft. I've actually picked up a keyboard and mouse and hooked it up to my Xbox because that's how try-hard I'm going.
Do you do any schoolwork?
Yeah, I do schoolwork. I play Minecraft during recess, lunch, after school, and whenever I have free time. I mean, it's just a lifestyle. Me and my friend actually started up the world. We've put it into realms so we can just play whenever we want. And we've got netherite tools, enchanted them up. You know, we're pretty much considered gods at the game. And we're on track to defeat the Ender Dragon, I'd say, in about 3 weeks' time. So that's a long time, but we barely play. So I reckon it's going strong. It's going really strong.
You barely play. You just said that you're spending most of the day on it.
Yeah, but like, to me, that's like not a lot of time. If you add it up, it's about 3 hours a day.
Yeah, I suppose that's not. Could be worse.
We did have one like mega. We just like played for 9 hours straight. That was pretty good. All right, Kicker. We've got Q&A here, and Graham's going to join us for this one. And starting it off, we got some questions on Instagram. What rule would you like to come back, get taken away, or one rule that needs to be improved for field hockey? That comes in from Callum, and on Instagram, that's CallumBridge04.
Yeah, that's a good question, Callum. I think from a halfback perspective, I think you should be able to toss the ball into the attacking D. So if you guys have got the free, I feel like, as long as it's outside 25, obviously, you should be able to toss the ball into the D and just be play on. Because you know how many cool deflections you could have if someone tosses it and you're on the post and just go, that would be so cool. I don't know about you guys, but I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a decent rule. I gotta say, they used to have it, they got rid of it, and it needs to come back. You know how on free hits inside the 25, you got to give them 5 meters. Obviously, on all free hits, you have to do that. But you used to be able to stand right inside the circle. Now they make you back up. From a goalkeeper's perspective, I want my defenders as close to that ball as possible. I think they should change that rule back to the way it was. But maybe that's just my opinion.
Bring the shadow back.
So this is controversial. You two will disagree, but I played a season with the long corner being in the actual corner where it should be, and I thought that was great from a halfback perspective. You know, it makes it harder for it makes it harder for them to get it into the D. It's so much easier to defend.
Yeah, but the game's so clogged.
I don't care. I just don't care. I
do.
I play hockey with me get ball gets hit up the field. That's how I play.
Have you played on grass from the long corner spot? Have you played on grass from the long corner spot? You know how clogged it got? And you couldn't even run. It was so muddy. It's pointless.
I don't care. I just don't care.
I think that on the corner, it's nice from a defender's perspective, but the game never goes anywhere, right? That just gives you an excuse to just tip the ball off the line, right? I think it's worse for defenders, better for the game. So I'm going to disagree with Brayden on that one.
Rightio, what's next?
So this next question is also from Instagram, and it is, what made you want to start playing hockey? That comes in from Eloise, and on Instagram, that's Ellie_Gibbo.
For me, I didn't really have a choice. It was just a family thing. What am I? I'm 16 now. I started playing when I was 5, so I didn't really have a choice. All my family played, so that's what made me as such play hockey.
Yeah, it's not a big sport over here, especially with guys. Not a lot of us play it, unfortunately. It's, not as popular as it should be, in my opinion. I started playing because I have a sister a little bit younger than me. She signed up, and I wanted something to do, once ice hockey season was over. And so I signed up too, and love the game. And, don't play ice hockey anymore, but still play field hockey.
Yeah. Well, with me, this is a bit all over the place, but I went and my dad was playing at a tournament in Perth, and I thought it was like the coolest sport ever, just how fast-paced the game was and how everything moved quickly. And then it didn't come across to me again up until we hit Victoria. No, actually, I was still in WA, and Mum said, I've signed you up for field hockey. I took 2 years off of it once we moved to Victoria, and then Mum signed me up again. And best decision my mum's ever made for me.
There you go. Beautiful. Apart from the Woody. Now, we've got a question coming in from McKeel, double Y, on Instagram. And the question is, if a tree falls in a forest but no one is around, does it make a sound?
I don't know what that means. I'm pretty dumb.
I got an answer for this. Let me have a go. All right. So, it's an age-old question. If a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, does it make a sound? I think it would make a sound, but I also think it's a bit of a dumb question, if I'm going to be honest, because it's like, it's unanswerable, and I guess that's the point. I don't have an answer. I guess that's my answer.
But see, this is where, am I missing the mark? But if something makes a sound, it's always going to make a sound. It doesn't matter who's around. So
that's the thing is, if no one hears it, is the sound actually there? And that's the essence of the question.
Yeah, but it is. The noise is still made. But is it?
I don't know. And I don't know. Well, that's your answer.
It can't just be that. If you're saying that, it means everyone's just hearing things.
Well, no, it would mean that sound doesn't exist until it comes in contact with your ear or with a microphone or something. But I don't know. It's hard to answer this question. My answer is I don't know, I think.
Yeah, cool.
All right, so moving on. This one comes in from Daniel, Dan Walshy5 on Instagram. Left or right?
Daniel, mate, I suppose you're a bit angry from last week when we put you under the spot, but I don't see what sort of question. I'm right-handed, right all the way, left or right, I don't know. Graham?
Yeah, I'm a left-handed person. I'm going to say left.
Yeah, I'm right, Right-handed's just better. Right's my thing. Moving on. This one, again, comes in from Callum previously, Callum Bridge 04. And why did you start this podcast?
Well, we just started this podcast sort of just to, I suppose it was just to bring a bit of, do something in ISO, even though we're hoping to make it span after ISO, but do something, bring a bit of cheer to the world, give someone something to smile about, I suppose, in their week.
Yeah. Well, mine's a bit different. I was laying in my bed and I just get this message from Ed, and he's like, hey, I want to start a podcast you in. And Same thing as Ed, man. It gives me something to do over quarantine, and if it makes the listeners happy, I'll do it forever.
Another philosophical question coming in from will.stevens.15 on Instagram. Does water float?
No. Water is just a body of liquid. Something can float in water, but water does not float itself.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with Brayden on this one. I think like water could float. Like if you put water in a bottle, that would float. But I think water itself, it doesn't float. It just is. It's just water. Leave it be. Let it do its thing.
Yep, that sums it up pretty well, guys. Moving on to Snapchat, Brayden.
Yeah, so this comes in from Nick, and this is on Snapchat, knickknack6. What is your go-to Chinese order?
Rightio, so obviously topical from the last podcast. If you haven't listened to it, go check it out, Spotify, iTunes. But my go-to Chinese order is not dolphin prawn dumplings. It is not deep-fried or whatever, stir-fried broccoli. It is a bit of, I don't mind a bit of lemon chicken. On rice, noodles, whichever way you want to put it, a bit of lemon chicken.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Ed. I like some lemon chicken. I like whatever it is. I'm a fan of Chinese food for sure. I don't think I have one go-to, but, whatever it is, I like it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, mine's a bit controversial. I don't actually eat that much Chinese. I mean, I don't eat it a lot. If I'm more of a KFC type of guy, so I'm going to change the question, go to KFC order here. It's going to have to be about like 20 wicked wings with a Mountain Dew, large fries, and yeah, that's it. That's my
question. You just changed the question.
Because I'm not answering the Chinese question. I eat some of my mum's noodles and prawn crackers. There, that's my answer.
That's your go-to meal. I'm proud of you. Okay, this comes in from Declan. Deckers 16506. Tongue twister. Why do hockey players get paid less than other sports people? I don't really want to get into political conversation myself, but I don't know. it's just the less popular sport in some people's eyes.
Yeah, I just add, I think it's not a super popular sport in a lot of places. There's less demand for it. Certainly, not as many fans, right? So I think that's the big thing. People in, players in sports that have more fans typically get paid more just because there's more revenue coming to the leagues and stuff.
That's going for your guys. I'm pretty sure I saw this a couple of months ago, and it said field hockey is actually like the top 5 most popular sports with a couple billion fans actually. But I guess that does include like really regional third world country areas. So I guess they probably just don't get paid more because just when it comes to the bigger sports, it's just not as popular. Like that's the only reason.
I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Radio. Coming in from Caleb Dillon 19. He says, best hockey player you know. Brayden, who is the best hockey player you know, mate?
All right. It's got to be you, Ed. I mean, I've played 2 games with you so far, and every game it is just great to watch Ed. Like, just great. I'm sitting in the back line doing nothing, and it's great to watch Edward shred the competition. When I mean shred, I mean no one stops this man. When Ed gets the ball, it's frightening how good he actually is.
Oh, bro, don't say that. If you're watching the video, guys, I'm actually blushing right now. Oh.
Yeah, I'd say that you two are both pretty good hockey players, but not the best I know. I trained with some Canadian national team guys. They're all pretty good. I met Jamie Dwyer once. I'm gonna say Jamie Dwyer or the Canadian national guys. You guys close second, or close third, I guess, behind them.
I could beat Jamie Dwyer in a 1-on-1.
Any day.
Yeah, let's see it.
Not at hockey, but maybe at like eating.
Okay, and best hockey player I know by far is Brayden. He is a god. I've trained more with him than I've played with him, but he is a godly player. He's a specimen, and I just don't see how anyone can beat him. He's just amazing.
Ed, that's lovely, Ed. That's just lovely. I'm flustered.
Yeah, he's blushing too. For all you video viewers, he's also blushing. Red in the face.
Rightio, guys. That finishes our Q&A with the lads for this episode.
that is it for this week's podcast, guys. Thank you for tuning in and listening so much. Stay tuned for next week's podcast, episode 3. And thank you all so much for the support. And thank you, Graham, for coming in and putting up with us for a couple of hours. It was nice to have you on the show, Graham. But that's all from me. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Brad said it. Hit up the socials, Instagram, Snapchat, everything. YouTube, the Playground Politics Podcast. You can find extra bits like cutscenes, bloopers, etc. That's up there in last episode, as well as the video version of the podcast just in general. That's about it from us. Yeah, just thank you to Graham for coming on, and catch you guys next week.